Hello, Junior 3. Welcome back. Okay, today we are going to finish our retelling. We are going to work on step number 4 today. And to work on step number 4, we are going to start using linkers, as you can see here. Now, you must be wondering, Miss Sol, what are linkers? Linkers are some words that you started using in Spanish and that you will find them very easy to use. Okay, so what are linkers? Linkers are words that we use to connect ideas in a story. Okay, we use them to link, like the link when you click in the internet. Okay, so where are we going to use these linkers and what is she talking about? Let's take a look. Remember, in a story, we had some different parts. As you already know, we've got the beginning, where we get to know who is in the story, where is the story taking place, the middle that is going to present the problem. They're going to try to solve the problem, the characters, by following different steps. And the end, we are going to get to know if the problem was solved or not and what happened with those characters. Okay, so here are the linkers. These are the linkers. So we've got once upon a time, many years ago, and but, so. These are the linkers that we are going to use for the beginning, of course. What do you think? Can we use these linkers in some other parts? Well, let's see. What happens if we start using once upon a time in the end? Does it make sense? No, of course not, because the story is finishing. It's going to the end. It's near the end. Now, many years ago as well, we only use it in the beginning. And but, and so we can also use them in the middle when we want to add more information or we want to link some other ideas, when we want to connect the ideas. Okay, well, for the middle we've got these ones: first, then, later, after that, sometime later, and so but. Let's take a look at these words. What do you think they're trying to describe? Well, in the middle, as we've said before, we are going to be dealing with the problem. We're going to talk about the problem and which were the steps the characters follow to solve that problem. So that is why we're going to place them in order. So first, something happened. Then, later, after that, sometime later, okay? So in that way, we'll be putting in order everything that happened in the middle. That generally is the longest part in a story. Now, you are going to think, okay, so I need to put all those words in my retelling? No, you don't need to include all of them. You are going to use as many as you need to link and to connect your ideas, okay? So, in the end, we are going to use finally. At the end of the story, what happened? Do you remember the fable of the hare and the tortoise? Well, finally, the tortoise won the race. Or at the end of the story, the tortoise won the race. So these are going to be all the linkers we are going to use while writing stories or while writing retellings, or as well orally. We can use them while we retell a story orally. Now, let's take a look at step number 4, our last step. So it says, include linkers to connect the sentences you wrote in step number 3. Well, as you can see here, all the steps that we followed while learning how to write our retellings are very important. Remember, step number 1, we decided to look for words in simple past and important words. And we kept on following steps that they're going to be very important. Okay? So, all you need to do is get your English copybook, go back to step number 3, and remember what we had written. Okay? So we had written this. Remember here, look. This one that we wrote these sentences that were describing these pictures and summarizing, making it shorter what happened in the beginning, in the middle, and in the end. Okay? So these same sentences are the ones we've got here. So I decided to include these linkers so you can see them. Once upon a time, the hare was boasting about how fast she was. Okay, so this is the sentence I wrote before, and here I'm just adding the linker. She said the tortoise was very slow. But here we've got our second linker. The tortoise said she could reach the end of the field before the hare. Okay? So all you need to do is get your sentences from step number 3 and you will add the linker at the beginning or in the middle, or for example here in the end. If you've got many things that you want to say, you're just going to start connecting your ideas. So once you read it, it's perfect. Now, does it need to be perfect when I write it? Of course not. I am waiting for your work to get to me so I can see how you're doing on this. They don't need to be perfect. They don't need to be correct. If not, I think, okay, they already know everything. They can go to junior 6. Don't worry, we are all learning, and I'm waiting for your mistakes so I can teach you correctly, okay? And I can help you. So that is why we are here. So once you finish with this, you just send me a message. I'll correct it and I'll send it back to you. Oh, one more thing before I forget. While writing these sentences, as you can see, there'll be some sentences, about 10 sentences, for example. Leave one line in between, okay? One line you write, you leave a line. You write on another one, you leave one line. So then we have space to correct it. Okay, see you around. Bye-bye.